Welcome back to EDU-Tutor. Today we want to look at 2020 Principles of Business Paper 1. Please remember to subscribe to our channel and also share this video to someone who may be in need of it. Question 1. One feature of a free market system is that A. Competition is decreased among producers. B. The government is the major controller of decision making. C. Producers are allowed to supply what the consumer wants. Or D. Both the government and producers are involved in decision making. And we know the answer is C. Producers are allowed to supply what the consumers want. Number 2, which of the following are not trading instruments? We have checks, credit cards, bills of exchange, and money remittances. A to C are trading instruments. The policies of a company are usually formulated by, and by now we should know that it is the directors. Which of the following is not a function of money? We know that money should be a store of value, a measure of value, a medium of exchange, and divisible. Now, in this case, we have indivisibility, which is the opposite of dividable. Therefore, this is our answer because it says not a function of money. So, money should be divisible. So, if we have the opposite of divisible, that means that it is what? Money. It is not a function. Shall we follow in our advantages of a sole trader? Ease of setting up, profits are not shared, flexible working hours. So as a sole trader business, it is easier to set up when compared to other businesses. Profits are not shared because there's no one to share it with, and also the working hours are flexible. The management team of Scoot Motor has discovered that productivity levels of workers have fallen. The team met and without consulting the workers took a decision to shorten the coffee break and the lunch period. What leadership style has the management team utilized in making its decision? Autocratic, democratic, charismatic, or laissez-faire? And of course, since you did not consult with any of the workers, it must be autocratic. Which of the following are benefits of written communication? It provides evidence, provides instant feedback, useful for details and messages. Written communication does not give instant feedback. You have to wait some time, if it's even 2 seconds, right? And therefore, we go with 1 and 3. Which of the following is a form of industrial action in which trade unions are most likely to ask workers to participate in? Mediation, bargaining, arbitration, or work to rule? And answer is work to rule. Let's look at this diagram, which refers to item 10. We have X here. What is above the CEO? Because that is what 10 asks for. Which of the following positions would be best suited at X? Is it the chief advisor, the board of directors, the managing director, or the human resource manager? Of course, 10 is the board of directors. Now, which of the following is not a function of management? Controlling the use of funds, delegating work to subordinates, coordinating the work of employees, or determining investment options for employees. Now we know the functions of management and we can see them here at the start of these answers. And this one stands out, right? So we can go ahead and select our answer, which is D. The condensed version of the business plan is contained in the executive summary. Which of the following is a regulatory requirement for an entrepreneur? Using a credit card to transact business, offering higher purchase options to customers, paying national insurance to government, or advertising the business locally and regionally. Of course, the answer for this one is paying national insurance. An analysis of the viability of a business idea and an examination of the different aspects of operating a business is known as a feasibility study. Cash used to secure a loan at the bank is referred to as collateral. An entrepreneur may reduce his risk of loss by A. Planning ahead, B. Securing bank loans, C. Sponsoring community projects, or D. Purchasing additional fixed assets. And of course, it is planning ahead. Right. All right, so 17. Which of the following factors prevents an agreement from being considered a valid contract? If there's misrepresentation in a contract, it cannot be valid. All right, so the person was not rightly placed in that contract. The principle of insurance, where individuals would be compensated for damages or losses incurred, is referred to as indemnity, proximate cause, insurable interest, or the pooling of risks. Now, number 18 is indemnity. A purchase order is a request for additional goods. B. Notification of goods received. C. Statement of outstanding debt. Or D. Document offering to buy goods. Of course, it's a document offering to buy goods. A contract may be discharged by A. Breach. B. Change of mind. C. Inconsideration. Or D. Misappropriation. And of course, 20 is A. Not 21. The term human resource refers to materials and goods made by human beings, capital invested by shareholders in a company, raw materials used in the manufacture of goods, or persons available for productive and professional services. And of course, 21, we define human resource as persons available for productive and professional services. Which of the following are not linkage industries? Now let's look at each item. Fishing and farming. Is there any linkage between that? Can we sell the fish to the farmers and the output will become the input? So, can the farmers plant or grow the fish? And the output would have been the dead fish. So, more than likely, unless they're going to collect them alive. So, this one is kind of controversial. Let's look at agriculture and tourism. Now, if we have some plants, let's say we have tomatoes. If we plant tomatoes and when the tomatoes are ready to be sold, we sell them to our hotels. The hotels can use it to garnish their dishes that they're going to plate or that they're going to give to their guests, right? So that could be used as a linkage. Sugar and confectionery, so we can sell the sugar to the sweet company, and lumber and boat building, we can sell the board to make boats. So out of all four of them, fishing and farming would be considered the least likely to be a linkage. Productivity can be measured by, and that is output divided by input. Which of the following are examples of fixed capital? We have cash balances, bank balances, plant and machinery, and stock of raw material. Of course, we have plant and machinery, that is the fixed asset. Which of the following industries could be classified as extractive? We have fishing, mining, and forestry. Now, out of all of these, which ones would we consider extractive? All three, correct. Now, which of the following activities is most likely undertaken in a cottage industry? Do we build boats, bottling of soft drinks, making of sugar cakes, or repairing of computers? The most likely one would be making of sugar cakes. Which of the following outcomes is least likely to occur from growth in an organization? Greater productivity, more division of labor, increased communication, or increased capital investment. Alright, so sometimes communication will get less. So it would be increased communication. That would be the least likely to occur. In marketing, a market is described as A. The reason for the elimination of barter. B. A situation in which buyers and sellers interact. C. A place where various types of fruits and vegetables are sold. Or D. The management process responsible for satisfying consumers' demands. We are going with B. A situation in which buyers and sellers interact, because that is what we define a market in business. Now, which of the following pricing strategies is used by a firm to introduce a new product to a market at a low introductory price. So this is the pricing strategy. Is it market skimming, penetration pricing, competitive pricing, or discrimination pricing? Discrimination pricing. So which is it? It is penetration pricing. Now, the producers of power drink promote their drink over the producers of energy plus drink in their advertisements. This type of advertisement is referred to as A, collective, B, persuasive, C, informative, or D, competitive. So since they are promoting their product over the competitor's product, they are being competitive. The term loss leader is best described as a product which A, has no real market value, B, the retailer is unable to locate, C, is sold cheaply to attract customers, or D, the retailer gives away to customers. 31 is C. Under which of the following conditions are trade discounts used? Bulk purchases, prompt payments, payments by cash, or first-time buyers. It is used for bulk purchases. John has sought permission to prevent the local art gallery from reproducing and selling his painting. This legal means of protecting his work is referred to as A, patent, B, brand, C, copyright, or D, franchise. All of us should know this. It is a copyright. Now, which of the following factors is least likely to influence consumer behavior? Is it product price, brand loyalty, quality of goods, or place of residence? All right, so 34 is D. Now, 35, which of the following is not a function of a retailer? A, preparing goods for resale, B, selling goods in small quantities, C, providing a local supply of goods, or D, transporting goods to suitable storage facilities. They're not supposed to do that. That is not one of their function. Tom invests his savings by buying shares in a company. From his investment, Tom expects to receive. So what do you get from shares? Do you get revenue, dividend, interest, or profit? Dividends. In business, logistics is defined as A, managing data from conception, production, and storage to retrieval. B, using all systems to move an idea from conception to production and then sales. C, managing resources from the point of acquisition, storage, and transportation to their final destination. Or D, formulating a business idea, systematically gathering data, then following through to production. So 37 is C. 38. Which of the following documents shows ownership of imported goods? And that is the Bill of Lading. JB Auto Company decided to export car engines from Barbados to Trinidad. Which of the following methods is best suited for transporting the engines? Is it the air, the sea, the rail, or the road? So it is the C. A debenture holder is one who A, is paid a fixed rate of interest if the company makes a profit. B, must be paid any amount owing to him in the following year. C, has first claim on any profits and is paid a fixed rate of dividends. Or D, is entitled to a fixed rate of interest whether or not the company makes a profit. Alright, so 40 is D. Governments often subsidize, sorry, governments offer subsidies to businesses to reduce costs and ultimately prices. Which of the following would be the final steps in a supply chain operation? A, transformation of natural resources into finished goods. B, movement to and storage of raw materials in the warehouse. C, processing of raw materials and components into finished goods. Or D, delivering the finished product from point of origin to the point of destination. So which one would have been the final step in the supply chain? It is delivering the product to the destination. Which of the following is a global logistics provider? DHL. The stock exchange provides a marketplace where goods are stored, securities are traded, shareholders trade shares or commodities are exchanged. And 44 is B. Mia would like to protect her passport, birth certificate, and jewelry. Which one of the following commercial bank services should she use? 45 is B. 46. Which of the following groups stands to benefit most from a stable level of prices? Is it the consumers, the workers, society, or the firms? 46 is the society. Now, which of the following forms of taxation is imposed on goods produced in a country? All right, so that is excise duty. Now, which of the following measures are used by governments to redistribute income? We have custom duties and levies, consumption tax and tariffs, PAYE and national insurance, excise duties, and value added tax. And that is C. The central bank is owned and controlled by the government. Education contributes to economic growth by ensuring that the workforce is highly efficient. One of the major functions of central bank is to issue notes and coins, issue stocks and shares, accept deposit accounts, or make loans and advances. All right, issue notes and coins. Which of the following measures could be used to protect the environment? Recycling, deforestation, or water conservation. Of course, we know that it cannot be deforestation because that is a cutting down of trees. So if we cut down trees, it's not going to protect our environment. So therefore, it's 1 and 3, which is B. A price control may be defined as a government limit on the price of goods and services. Which of the following taxes could be classified as indirect? And it is a value added tax, which is added to your goods and services. So you get charged when you're buying those products. One economic solution to unemployment in the Caribbean is to encourage industrialization. Mrs. Jones has several bills of fixed amounts to pay each month. Mrs. Jones made an arrangement with her bank to make these monthly payments from her account. This service provided by the bank is referred to as a standing order. Computer-aided design can be advantageous to production. The best indicator of a country's standard of living is A. Level of employment, B. Size of its national income, C. Size of its balance of payments, or D. Average income of the population. And we're going to go with the average income of the population. In periods of inflation, the ability to raise additional capital for expansion is most likely to be a problem. 4. A. Sole traders, B. Partnerships, C. Public companies, or D. Multinational corporations. 59 is A. Sole trader. And in buying and selling of goods and services among countries is called A. Balance of trade, B. International trade, C. Balance of payments, or D. International marketing. Of course, it is international trade. All right, so we're at the end of the video, end of the 2020 paper 1. Thank you for watching. Also, please remember to subscribe to our channel.